Thank you for tuning in today, I guess we're going to call it. Super excited to have the guys here from Huntington Equity. Hopefully I'm saying that right. These Grant, Drew, Josh just had a killer deal. I'm not going to spoil it, but wanted to bring them on for a little case study and talk about how you can be doing these six-figure deals. So guys, welcome. I appreciate you popping on today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, David.
Cool. So you had this big deal. Well, let's start at the beginning. First off, tell me a little bit about you guys. I know you've been around for a little bit of time. This wasn't your very first deal.
No, we've all of us have a little bit of unique stories as far as how we got into the real estate industry, but we all have a very similar training that we all went through called Flip Secrets, and we all learned how to basically underwrite deals correctly, how to comp deals, how to basically just get offers out there. So we're not afraid of making offers. And that's really the training that we've been taught over the last 5 to 10 years.
Nice.
I know Grant has a little bit more experience than us. He's the senior veteran here, and he helps us out. But nonetheless, getting right into the deal, we had a big deal out in Pahrump, Nevada, and it was a six-figure deal. You're correct. Yeah. And the secret to doing deals like that is it's just fortune is in the follow-up. It's really, we just kept in communication with the seller. The seller said, hey, I need some time. I need to make sure all my ducks are in a row. And we just allowed that. And we just played touch butt basically. Every single day we'd say, hey, how's it going? Is there anything that we can offer our services for to help you get to the next chapter of where you're going? And it was a very unique seller. He was very interesting. He had some peacocks in the backyard, so it was,
really,
he had in the house too. So it was really a unique deal, to say the least. And not every deal's a home run. The average is about 10, 15,000 on an assignment. So these are home runs. And you don't win the baseball game by hitting home runs. You got to hit doubles and singles and get runners on the base at the end of the day.
That's right. One thing I always like to talk to people. It is, you have to get up the bat continuously and be taking swings, right? Because they're not all home runs. But if you don't get up to the plate, you're never, you're just never going to hit them. So Drew, do you remember what the lead source was for this deal?
Yeah, we used property leads on it.
Okay. All right. So that a paper leads?
Yeah, PPL.
Oh, nice. Nice. Very good. Those are getting super popular. When we were wholesaling, everything was PPC, and PPL paper lead kind of came out a little bit after that. So nice. Cool. So a little bit about you guys, like how many deals are you doing per month?
We're averaging I'd say about 4 to 5 deals a month, one closing every week pretty much.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Good for the cash flow. So how long have you three been kind of together working as a team?
Grant and I, we've been in business now 8 years together in some various different businesses, mostly in real estate. Josh came, I've only worked now with Josh about
a couple months. Yeah, 3-4 months, something like that.
It's been a match made in heaven, but I know Grant
and
Josh have reason why I say that is Josh is our dispo manager and I'm the acquisition manager. So him and I were steering the ship of the company. Right. And without him, we wouldn't have anything. And without me, we wouldn't have any contracts to sell. Yeah, so it's a lot of yin and yang going on. And that's what makes a great team.
I think that's important to talk about because so many people, team up and sometimes it works, but a lot of times it doesn't. What do you think kind of with the three of you what's the secret sauce there and making sure that everybody gets along and nobody gets stabbed at the end of the week?
I think to speak to that, so Drew is he really gets shit done, right? And so as long as we're moving the needle, he's going to work with me on whatever we need. And as long as the needle's moving forward and he knows that I'm focused on that. So once he hands it off, he knows I'm going to do everything in my power to get that deal closed. I was basically a private investigator on another deal to get it done. So, having that kind of confidence is nice because you don't have to worry. It's okay, he's going to take care of it. I know he's locking them up at the right price. And I think me, Andrew, can attest that Grant, really has kind of taught us a lot of those things. He's basically my mentor prior to coming on board at Huntington Equity. Yeah. And I did my first wholesale because So that's how that all ties in. We're all from a similar community and experience.
So Drew and Josh, are you guys the ones that are giving Grant the gray in his beard, or what?
Yeah, a little bit.
Put a little stress on him.
And you know what, David? It's all communication and availability, right? And you know, we've gone through other people. You know, some people just don't have what you need, but you know, these guys, they're special. These two.
Yeah.
So.
And you guys are all remote. Like none of you are in the same spot.
Nope.
All remote.
So Grant, you said you're in Knoxville, Tennessee. Drew, San Diego, and Josh, where are you at?
Wilmington, North Carolina.
So all three sides of the earth.
We're coast to coast like butter and toast is what I like to say.
Oh, I love it, man. That's slick. Very smooth. Nice. So cool. So love that. So you're ramping up, or is PPL where you're getting the majority of your leads, or do you have other sources?
We're looking to reincorporate PPC. We've been slapped around the few times because it's, in my experience with PPC, is it takes a long time to get it up and running, you know, versus paying a company that already has done it and, you know, working how to get the best price point for the leads and everything like that. Yeah. We found just a world of difference. I mean, it was like we were playing T-ball with PPC, we found, and now we're playing in the major leagues with PPL.
Nice. I agree with that. When we were running a lot of PPC, you know, we were 30,000 a month in PPC, and 30% of them were just junk. It was either wholesalers or agents or somebody who was already listed. So we were paying for a lot of leads that honestly went nowhere. So that's the beauty of the paper lead, you know, process or program or whatever it is, right? It's just much more targeted.
Well, and I think something else that's great about it is, you know, between all of us, we kind of tailor in where we're looking, right? We're looking places where we have buyers, right? Yeah. We're not looking places we don't have buyers yet. And then if we are going to get into a new market, it's like, okay, give me some time to build a buyers list over there. That way we can lay them up. So we're not just like, oh, we got a deal, let's figure it out. Right. You know, we want a high conversion percent.
Do you use any of the dispo software like Investor Lift or anything like that?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Investor Lift.
Nice. Yeah, cool. What level are you guys on in Investor Lift?
The cartel boss.
All right, awesome. You know, guys, I was used number 11. I was the 11th cartel boss at the very beginning.
I like it.
Yeah, we were back, dude. When we started, it was $10,000 a month and 4% of your assignment fees.
Holy moly! Wow.
So it's changed. It's changed a lot. But Robert's a real good friend of mine. So, yeah, no, Investor Lift, you gotta have it. I don't know of any other way that you could be doing deals all over the country for sure.
It was a game changer for us. Truly.
Yep. It is. And I don't think there are a lot of people that try to imitate it. And this isn't a commercial for Investor Lift, but man, just the data. And they're 10 years ahead of anybody else. Like, it's absolutely crazy.
So on that note, I think a lot of people don't utilize Investor Lift enough though. Like they'll be like, oh, I'll post it up there. But you can dig, you can get deep in there and cross-reference with some other softwares.
Yeah.
And you can pinpoint a buyer. You can see what he's bought in the past year. And if somebody's buying 30 properties in that area, well, shoot, I'm giving him a call. I'm going to call him until he gets on the phone with me.
Yeah. You know? And are you using Artemis mode, the whole thing?
Artemis mode.
Dude, that's the secret sauce right there. I'm telling you, like, you don't even need all the rest of it. You can just sell your deals. If you're willing to pick up the phone and make the calls, it's scary how good that is.
I think that's been huge because, like, you know, Drew does his due diligence and follows up a ton. My job is to like hit every buyer until somebody picks up it. And if I got on the phone with them and I tell you I have a property that sold that we have right down the street and you just bought 3 of something similar, you're going to want to talk to me.
Yeah, it's a layup. Absolutely. And that's when we ran Nationwide Property Liquidators. I had 4 dispo managers and we had it on the wall, #sell the deal. Like literally that is your only job. You come in, you talk to every single person and you sell the deal. So I love it. And that was, you know, I think one of the things that you guys have that's special. And it took me a little while to figure it out. You know, back in 2009 when I started, was really having some divisions within the company where one person is constantly handling acquisitions, the other one is handling dispo. So Drew, you're always your whole job just always get a contract, always get the contract, always get the contract, and you hand that over to Josh, and your deal is just sell. So you're not trying to do everything, right? That to me seemed like one of the biggest codes that we cracked at the very beginning.
And if I can add on that, as being in the front line as a acquisition manager, I'm dealing direct with the sellers, right? And they're putting their faith and their confidence in me that I'm not going to leave them in a more worse position than they already are. You know, every deal is unique. Every seller is unique. Everybody has a different problem. Everybody has a different end goal. But the main goal is to move the property at the end of the day. And I find in this industry, a lot of people do a disservice of not treating the customers correctly. As far as, you know, you have to understand these are people that are having big problems, and having a strong disposition team with Josh there. I mean, we are literally able to have so much confidence talking to the sellers, because I'm like, hey, if we can come to these terms and conditions and everything like that, I know my team can get it done.
Man, I love that. And that's something, even when I was coaching and with our own team in-house, that was what I would tell them. Like, these are real people, right? Like, I know as investors, we do so many deals. You guys are doing a ton of deals. Like, it's easy to get a little cavalier, right? Like, oh, it's just another deal. It's another 30,000. But these are real people, right, Drew? When you're talking to them on the phone, telling them you're going to solve their problem, like, they are in their mind like, oh my God, this thing that's been keeping me up at night for the last 5 months, finally, Drew's going to come in and his team are going to solve it. So it's important, right? It's really important that Josh can get those deals closed, but, you know, that you're giving them a real number that can, you know, kind of work its way all the way through and get closed.
And on that, like with Drew, something he does really good, and I think people can get lazy, especially with all the technology we have. It's easy to send texts and emails. The text is to hook some of them, right?
Right.
But like, these things have to be said on the phone, because like, if somebody's going to lose their house, Drew gets on the phone and he has good tonality. Like, you can't be like, yeah, I just want to buy your house. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, he gets on, he listens to them, lets them talk. Cause you know, sometimes they just need to vent about it. Let them know you can help them to a solution. He does really good at getting their trust, because that's what we need to move it. And I think a lot of people just glance over that. Like,
I mean, you know, I went to a marketing course probably 20 years ago, and you know, that was one of the things that they said, like, you can go up on the roof of a building and shoot a slingshot, half-mile circle. You will hit somebody that's losing sleep about their house tonight, right? Whether it's they have a problem or the house has a problem, but something about it is keeping them up at night. And the important thing in acquisitions is making sure that they trust that you're going to solve that problem. Right. That's what keeps them, you know, in the deal all the way to the end, and make sure that they don't ghost out on you.
I really feel like I'm a therapist at the end of the day. Half the time.
Yeah. Well, and looking at you two guys are at the bottom of my screen. So like Drew, you know, on acquisitions, I feel like you have to have a higher empathy, right? Like, hi, Mrs. Smith, your husband passed away. I'm really, you know, it's that, right? You're definitely dealing with more of the problems. Whereas Josh, on your side, it's just, you know, it's kind of that tug of war with buyers all the time. Cause I get it, right? Buyers, we're all investors. We all want it for the cheapest price. So you've got to fight back on that and really, you know, talk about how they're going to make money and why it's a good deal for them. So you know, while, you know, both important, really two different skill sets.
Right. And with dispositions, I think having a really good background in sales and like training in it helps a ton. Cause like I have a process that I followed when I actually did sales for Flip Secrets, which, you know, we came from. It's the same process, you know, it's figuring out the problem, you know, what needs to happen to find a deal. And I'm going to figure out what they need. I'm like, if you had to buy it today, let me know where we're at. Because then at least I can take those offers, and then that's where Grant comes in. You know, he goes out and he'll work the other end of the deal. So even if we only make maybe 5 or 10, he can work the other side, and we end up making 15, 20. So it's really a great system, I think, between all of us that we got hammered out.
Yeah, I think what you said is important, you know, talking about pain points and what they really need, because buyers have pain points too, right? It's not just sellers. I remember when I was rehabbing 5 or 6 properties a month, like, man, I had a crew. I had to keep that crew busy, right? Like that became my pain point, because I knew if I lost them to you guys, I'd never get them back. So I would take some deals that I might only make 14 or 15 grand on, but also I had private money lenders who, God, you know, it's a good problem. It's a first world problem, right? That you get somebody that wants to lend you their money and then you give it back to them and they're like, hey, I need you to, you know, spend it again. So, you know, there were times where I felt like my whole life was just keeping my crew busy and keeping that money moving. So it's all important.
You got dogs and you got to keep them fed.
That's what it is. Yeah, because they'll run off. Like they will go to somebody else who will feed them. So good. Oh,
no, that's it. No.
So how did you guys came across us? You've been with us for a few months now.
Yeah. I mean, you guys could speak to that. I think you were there right when everything started, right?
Yeah, we were basically looking for the best of the best in the industry, and we truly looked at who's everybody using, and let's go figure out. Success leaves clues at the end of the day. That's what I like to say. So if you follow in school, we used to get in trouble for copying and pasting and stuff, and now we get paid money to do it. So it's like we have to find what's going to simplify our process the most, because at the end of the day, we're dealing with the sellers, we're dealing with the buyers. We already have a ton of headaches. So title and escrow, which is a very, very complicated process, especially doing it nationwide. And you guys truly know how to do it in every state. And I mean, we haven't had any hiccups. You know what I mean? Where it's like you guys have simplified your guys' process. You guys have relationships with title and escrow companies. And we saw all that. So it was an easy decision for us.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you guys saying that was definitely the goal when we started this. And one of the reasons I want to have Lindsay in here is because I get a lot of credit being the dancing monkey that gets in front of the camera all the time. But it is not me that's doing these files. I honestly, I'm you guys, right? I tell people I'm an old school knuckle dragging wholesaler. I don't have the attention span to do what it takes on some of these files. Like we were talking about one at our meeting this morning. That was it your deal or somebody that was like 5 pages of notes that just, my God, some of these deals just go on and on and on.
Right.
We love Lindsay and Laura.
Lindsay's been great.
And there's a bunch of over there.
They're all amazing. I tell you.
Oh, you guys make our life easy.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead.
I was going to say with the per ump deal, actually, I think Lindsay, you were on that one, I believe.
Yes.
It was, you guys actually did something really great for us because the title company in Nevada wanted us to do some additional paperwork that just isn't typical. And we were able to pivot to another title company so we could double close. And that was great. Just because it allowed us to get the deal done. It prolonged it a little bit. But otherwise, we were going to have to file all these addendums with the seller and the buyer, and it's just a headache. So that was really good, being able to pivot without me having to go figure anything out. I was like, hey, what do we do? You guys said, hey, this is what we're going to do. Worked with Bryce, and we were able to make it happen. So it was great.
Well, that's our goal, is to keep you guys out on the playing field, right? Getting deals, selling deals, and and do everything we can possibly to kind of keep that off your plate so that you can just keep growing your company and doing more deals. So, but cool. Yeah. I mean, do you guys want to talk about like the numbers on this one? It was pretty big. I'm sure people want to hear it.
Yeah. So
put it out there.
We contracted this for we contracted it for $50,000 and we reassigned it for what, Josh? 185?
185. Yeah.
185.
Holy smokes. How did you get it so cheap?
Like I said in the beginning, fortune is just truly in the follow-up. And we just kept following up with him saying, hey, we know you're in a situation. We can help you. Here's the lifeline. Here's the life raft. He's like, I just need this amount of money for it. When can you guys get it to me? And we said we can do it less than 30 days. And I think it was right around that 30-day mark. And we were actually going to get it done in 15 days. But because of the title and escrow situation, we had to push it to like 25 days or something like that.
Nice. That's a good day.
Yeah.
Good day. Yeah, it's a good day. That's for sure.
This deal was so good. Like, I didn't believe it. I was like, no, this is a scam. This isn't real.
I think all of us were thinking that a little bit, Grant, like, okay, what's going to come up in title? Where's the drama? And everything cleared out pretty good. A little bit of, Drew, our front end dealing with the seller, letting them know, hey, we're going to get your money. It's just waiting on title. But I mean, shoot, this was the deal we closed before this one was way more of a headache than this was. So I think it's one of the things where we're doing all the right stuff consistently, day in and day out. And once in a while, you get the right one dropped in. And since you're doing, making the right offers, it happened. And Drew, that's all on Drew, man.
100%.
Just preparation and opportunity. They meet together. We're at the right time at the right place. We could help them. And it's consistency. You got to be consistent like a tree. Every single day, you got to do your daily disciplines and, do your follow-ups, your new leads, you got to just know where you're at in the process. And it's like, if you look at a tree, you don't see the tree for a year. It grew. You're like, holy cow, how did that tree grow so fast? And it's because it's consistent. So be consistent like a tree.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You're planting those seeds and having that good foundation. So cool, guys. So now that you're kind of up and running, you got Josh in there. What's your plans for Q4 and for 2025?
Well, what we're really looking for is, I mean, we're always recruiting new talent. We need people to help us every single day. I mean, we're looking for, since we have a very powerful network of buyers now, we're looking for people to bring us deals that they can't get across the finish line.
Okay.
That's basically what we have the right sauce, and we have the right environment, and we have the right team now, but it's now about just 10xing it and growing it.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. So we're going to share this with a lot of people. We talked about that. What would be the best way for people to get a hold of you if they've got an opportunity to JV?
I would say connect us through our Huntington Facebook, Huntington Facebook.
Yeah.
We can drop some numbers down below if you guys want to call. You want me to give you that now?
Yeah, just shoot it over to Lindsay, and we'll make sure we put it here in the little show notes. Yeah, we'll definitely push people, and then we'll connect with all your socials. Because I mean, certainly, being a cartel boss, you guys have the access to the best data in the country, and there are only 50 of us in the country, and 2 of them are sitting right here. So there's not a ton of cartel bosses out there. Not everyone wants to be in the JV business. So if you've got deals like that where you're really great at structuring acquisitions deals, but you don't have a full team, right? You don't have 2 other guys or gals on your team that can do the dispo. Doing JV is an absolute great way to get rid of those deals. And at the end of the day, we all have a paper contract, and we need to turn those things into dollars. So I think obviously you guys have shown that you can get the deals closed.
Right.
If I can add one more thing about the team environment, like we all have worked in bad companies, bosses breathing down each other's necks, competition, whatever, people snaking deals from each other. And here at Huntington Equity, we really, really strive to have the best team environment. So anybody that comes in with us, it's not like the typical wholesalers out there where we're going to slash your deals or anything like that. Like we want to change this industry. We want to change the reputation of what it has, because it's like used car salesmen. There's a bad stigma to it, but it doesn't have to be, because we can help a lot of people. Like one instance, we had a deal out in Houston. The woman was just getting the crap beat out of her from her family, physically abusive and everything like that. And we got her the money that she needed and got on with the next chapter of her life. So we do a lot of helpful things in this industry. And that anybody that comes on board, that's really important, where you have to be in the mindset to help other people.
I love that, guys. I could tell that's your core values. And same thing for us. One thing I talk about is wholesaling. Real estate investing is, it's the great equalizer, right? Whether you're short, tall, fat, skinny, blue, white, purple, like everybody can come in and make a lot of money, right? It's got a very low barrier of entry. That's the good news. The bad news, however, is also anybody can come into this business and anybody can do it. And if you're a scumbag, you can, that trust that people have with us, you can really do that and take advantage of people. So I love everything about what you guys are doing. Those are the values that were super important to us in our wholesale company, and at Easy REI Closings. Those are the kinds of clients that we want, right? We've only ever ejected 2 clients, and both of them were because they were doing just unscrupulous stuff, right? That we just didn't want our name tied to. So I love that. So cool, guys. Any final words here? We're going to shoot some people over to you to do some JV deals. Anything else you want to kind of close with?
Just thank you guys for the opportunity, and thank you for acknowledging that big win that we had. And
dude, that was awesome.
Yes,
we look forward to being back on this podcast with more wins. Like, we're not going anywhere. We're here.
Right.
Well, guys, I will tell you, around the office, we get a fair number of 6-figure deals a month, but it's a handful. So everybody definitely talked about this one, and we were all rooting you on here, making sure that it went over the finish line. So congratulations.